How's everyone doing? This is Jason, and welcome back to the basement. Just wanted to do a quick video today. I've been pondering lately my thoughts about my photography journey. You can see I'm dressed like I just been working out, which I have. Shout out to Team Hazardous. That's my boxing program here in North Jersey, in the United States. Just finished training in the park, so back home, ready to rehydrate and relax for the evening. But yeah, back to photography. So just been thinking about my journey in photography and what I've been doing for the last couple of years. And, I've been into photography for a while, but the last couple of years have really been a hyper focused point where I really tried a lot of lenses and cameras and, bought all these different types of equipment, tried different types of photography, really delved into the process and, learned about myself as well as about more about photography in general. So my initial thoughts about my journey and what I learned along this period are a few things. So I've learned that thus far, APS-C is all I need. I don't feel that there is quite a need. The internet is really high on full frame cameras and, full frame sensors and, all this stuff. But I think APS-C to me is still really good. It's a sweet spot because I know for me personally, I shoot professionally, but I also shoot personally. And I think because APS-C allows the camera to be smaller overall, it allows the camera to not be a bear to carry. And, you can carry smaller cameras, smaller lenses, kind of tuck it away while you're amongst your family and friends and, not be a burden. And I don't want to have so many cameras and lenses that I don't use some of them for just pro work and then some just for personal work. I'd rather have the kind of camera that can be the jack of all trades in a way, where it can be my pro camera, but it can also be my personal camera and not be this, big behemoth, chunky box, that's annoying to look at or carry around and you leave it home. So I think APS-C is why I've never really gone full frame. Although I had a full frame camera at one point, I decided to downsize and stay APS-C. So that's that. And so from a professional standpoint, I also feel that manual flashes are better. I've tried TTL flashes, had TTL flashes, had success with TTL flashes, but ultimately I felt the more control of the manual flash got me what I wanted in a simpler way because I actually seen what that flash power was versus with the TTL just kind of doing it and changing it over time. You know what I'm saying? Because when I shoot manual flash at an event, my camera's in manual and then my flash is in manual. So I set my exposure from the camera to get the slightly underexposed image just enough to get autofocus to work properly. And then the flash will fill where I need it to fill, usually for a person, right? To fill the person or the room to get, the kind of, quality exposure that I'm looking for. And I find that manual flashes work better and it works better when um, it's on camera. I don't use off camera flash unless I'm in the, studio or set up, a portable umbrella setup or something like that. But if I'm in an event, I like to keep everything kind of run and gun simple, flash on the camera and I'm in control of it and that's it, you know? Because if you're the one documenting the event, you should have full control of the flash and where it is. And I don't think you should leave equipment on poles and in corners. And I think having to set that up, it just takes too much time away from really getting the job done. So I don't think that I would ever use off-camera flash unless I'm in full control of the environment, which is in the studio. So that's that. My next point, small is good. I like small cameras. I like small lenses. It goes back to my other point about APS-C is I want my cameras to be useful. I want to use my camera a lot and often. I don't want it sitting around. I want it to be something that I have with me or can have with me and not have, not be unused. So I like the smaller setups, and sometimes I do like to be able to beef up my cameras to have the battery grips, especially with a flash, so then it's not unbalanced. But ultimately, I still want to be able to break it down and still it be a manageable size and be able to be used. So that's my point. Small is good. Save my back. Not a lot of weight. I think we're all in that same boat as we age. We want to carry less. So my next point, Fujifilm is the brand for me. I'm not going to say that I'm brand loyal or anything like that, but I think my experience with all these Fuji cameras that I've, owned, bought and sold, tried, etc., I feel like there hasn't really been one bad camera, and that Fuji really tries to make cameras for the photographer. Not just for the professional who makes money. Because I know a lot of, there's professionals out there who purely shoot for the dollar, and that's cool. But there's other people who shoot photography to make money, but also for the art and for the love of the photography journey, like myself. So I like trying cameras and lenses. I love the experience. And I think Fuji really dials into the user experience more than any other brand that I've ever had. And I've tried a few, and I think they do that the best. So, for now, into the foreseeable future, Fuji will be for me. And I'm already fully invested in them. So I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. And then my last point is your camera matters sometimes. I always feel like now more than ever that I have a connection with the camera. Like I have to connect with it. Some cameras, like listen, any camera can do a great job at taking a photo, but some of them won't have a feel to it that you want to shoot. Like sometimes you want that camera to talk to you and say, pick me up, put a lens on me, and go shoot. Because either it's the right size, because it has the right lenses for that system. Maybe something about it. Maybe you're doing video, it has good video features, right? Something about the camera has to talk to you. You have to have a feeling for it. So spec sheets are not everything. And I look at the camera itself and how it can fit into my personal ecosystem of life. Not just about shooting, right? Not just about when there's a paid job to do, but how does it fit into my personal ecosystem of life? When I just want to go out for the day with the family, can that camera come with me? Or if I get booked for a portrait session, will that camera also be able to handle that job on the fly or, well enough, right? Versus maybe a more professional or a camera that's suited to do the portrait session for some other reason. Because any camera can do it, right? You just got to have the right lenses or the right focal length for that matter. So, yeah, so the camera does matter. And I think that I learned that I want to connect with all my cameras. So from this point on, if I don't find some sort of way to connect with it, it will have to go. And so right now I'm in the process of really cleaning up my setup from the lens and camera standpoint, because at this point I want a camera that can do dual duty as enthusiast personal as well as professional work. And almost every camera I have needs to fall in line with that. And Fuji is the brand for me. And so My future videos are going to discuss those cameras that I have kept at this point and the lenses that I will also keep or purchase at this point. All right. So let me know your thoughts on your journey. What have you learned in your own personal photography journey? And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.